Welcome to Red-tastic. Story 1. I'm 24 female. My husband is 32 male, married about 2 years. Yesterday, his cousin, who lives in Spain and who I've only met once at our wedding, randomly messaged me screenshots of their family group chat. Basically, yesterday morning, I made him breakfast, eggs, toast, bacon, even fresh coffee. And he said thank you like everything was normal. But then he took a picture of it, put a poop emoji next to it, and sent it to his family chat, saying this is what he deals with every morning. Then in other messages he calls me lazy, useless and incompetent. Stuff like, can't even fold clothes properly, or house is always messy, wish I'd known before marrying. His family mostly laughed and agreed, which made it worse. We live in the US and I've always felt I got along fine with his family even though they're in Spain. I make an effort to remember birthdays, holidays, send gifts and join calls despite language barriers. So this really hurts, because I don't even understand why he would say the stuff. I've always tried really hard around the house even though I also have a job. I keep things clean, cook regularly, and I make an effort because he's particular about things like laundry and dishes. Now it feels like everything I've done was secretly being mocked behind my back. I thought things were okay, but now I just feel embarrassed and betrayed. I haven't confronted him yet because I'm honestly not sure what to say. Feels like my stomach dropped. How should I even bring this up? Am I overreacting or is this a serious issue? Edit. He didn't have a job for a period of about 6 months last year because he quit his job without discussing it first with me, which put our finances in a bind. I had to work every weekend just to afford the rent and cover our bills. I feel like our relationship became strained during this period because I was resentful of his decision, and he complained of me not pulling my fair share of chores because I was always exhausted. I think he started complaining about me around that time. Finally, I grew sick of his behavior, so I told him to get a job. He accused me of not supporting his dreams, being a crypto trader. But 2 months ago, he got a job anyways, and I thought things were finally back on track. Update. So yesterday, after he got home from work, I decided to ask him about it calmly. At first, he tried to play dumb, but I showed him the screenshots. Then he got mad, not because he felt guilty, but because he said, I invaded his privacy by looking at the family chat screenshots and that his cousin is stirring up trouble. I told him the real issue is him saying those things about me behind my back. We argued for a while and he kept saying it's just a joke, that it's cultural humor, and I wouldn't understand. I told him it doesn't feel funny to me. He finally said he's sorry, I felt hurt, but didn't actually apologize for what he said. He also messaged his cousin and berated her for involving me, which is uncomfortable because she was just looking out for me. I'm still feeling upset because I don't think he realizes why this bothers me. It feels like he's trying to blame everyone else instead of owning his mistake. Update 2. Things got weirder today. His cousin messaged me again after seeing my husband got angry at her. She sent me even older screenshots from last year, basically the same type of insults. But this time, one of his aunts responded by defending me, telling him it's inappropriate, but he just brushed it off and mocked her. I messaged his aunt separately thanking her, and she responded kindly but hinted this isn't new behavior. He did similar stuff about his ex-girlfriend before we got together. I had no idea about this side of him. He's been sweet and normal at home this whole time. Always acts loving to my face. Now I feel weird. Like maybe I never knew him as well as I thought. I'm confused and worried about how deep this goes. I'm wondering what else he's hiding or how he actually feels about our marriage. Final update. So I confronted him again today about what his aunt said. This time, I didn't let him brush it off. Eventually, after a lot of back and forth, he admitted he's been resentful because he didn't really feel ready to get married and feel stuck. This completely blindsided me because he was the one who proposed. who pushed for marriage in the first place. Apparently, he felt pressure from his family to have the perfect wife fast. So at the time he hurried and proposed. But deep down he says he knew I wasn't the one. We argued for hours until he finally broke down and admitted something even more shocking. Apparently, he's been secretly reconnecting with his ex-girlfriend who lives in Spain. They have been talking regularly for almost a year, and he admitted he's developed feelings for her again. He said that the reason he has been insulting me to his family is that he thought turning them against me would make it easier for him to justify leaving me for her. According to him, his family hated his ex and would never accept if he left me for her. So he thought they would easily encourage him to leave our marriage if he portrayed me badly enough. I'm absolutely gutted. Not only did he betray my trust by disrespecting me publicly, but he's also emotionally cheated on me for months, planning an exit strategy behind my back. I've packed my things and moved in temporarily with my sister. I'm planning to consult with a divorce lawyer and have no intention of fixing things. This goes far beyond what I ever thought possible, and I honestly feel completely blindsided and humiliated. He's now apologizing constantly, saying he didn't mean it, and he's willing to go to counseling. He keeps texting long messages about how much he loves me and how he didn't realize how important I am to him. But it feels like he's sorry he got caught, not sorry for what he actually did. I'm feeling exhausted, betrayed, and just very confused. Thanks to everyone who reached out with support. I really appreciate the perspective and advice. I'm so sorry this happened to you, OP. I can't start to imagine how badly this must have affected you. I know the whole thing is painful and it hurts, but you shouldn't take your husband back under any circumstances. He's an a-hole for everything he did. From cheating on you to saying shit about you to his family so they accept the lady he's cheating on you with. He doesn't deserve you, and you deserve so much better than him. It's going to be hard, but I say go through with the divorce and build a new life that doesn't involve your a-hole husband. There are a lot of men out there who will appreciate and love you for all you do. I hope you find one like that. Kudos to the cousin and aunt for taking your side and defending you. We need more women like that. Story 2. Am I the a-hole for not sharing the company internet with my sister and her husband and their daughter? I'm a tech worker in my mid-20s and I own a house. Was very lucky to have a full ride scholarship to college and get a well-paying job in a city with a cheap cost of living. I live outside the city in a rural area. I also don't have the internet at home. Crazy for a tech worker, I know. I've heard it all before. But to be honest, I want to switch off at the end of the day. See friends, do sports, read, etc. I had cellular data for essentials but generally was offline after work. It's expensive to have home internet wired up out here. Then COVID hit and I had to work from home. My company was offering to buy people whatever they needed to create a work-from-home setup, monitors, desks, etc. And I thought I might as well ask if they would pay for my internet because I never had internet at home and wouldn't have gotten it if I hadn't been asked to work from home. My manager approved it, and the company provided a 4G LTE internet beacon. The subscription is expensive, but it was the best choice for speed out here when my home doesn't have a wired internet connection. Around this time, my sister and her husband both lost their jobs and they live in a high cost of living city and couldn't make rent. They have a 13-year-old daughter too. I offered to let them stay at mine. I have a guest room and a finished attic. They pay me rent, a lot cheaper than their old rent. They wouldn't let me refuse it. And the one issue is the internet. They can't believe I don't have a home internet other than my work one. And I said that I didn't want to use the work one for anything but work since my company had it set up. I'm sure they can see the usage and it wouldn't honor the agreement I had with my manager to just use it for work. My sister and husband think that I'm being silly, like everyone looks at stuff other than work on the company internet sometimes. But I honestly am not comfortable with it. Also, their daughter is going crazy without the internet and being cooped up inside. Am I the a-hole for not giving the Wi-Fi password? You're not the a-hole for wanting to use your company-provided internet for just work, OP. You could get in real trouble if they find out you've been using it for anything but work. Your sister and her husband should understand that. It sucks that you don't have an internet at home for your sister's family to use, especially for your niece, but since it seems like you don't really need the rent they give you, you could get internet installed for them with it. But if you don't want to do that, that's fine. You've done more than enough by providing them a place to stay. Now for some comments. Not the a-hole, as it's company internet and you have personal boundaries regarding your home and private internet use. However, it would be really good of you, given the current situation, if you could allow them to have something installed at their own expense, or even just ask for a bit of extra money and then provide something for them yourself. Is there an alternative setup you could help them with? I work in IT. I wouldn't do anything personal on company property and networks other than maybe reading the news. I can look up any account on my network and find out where you bank, what you're looking to buy on Amazon. Of course, this search is also logged. Yay, audit trails. Now, normally we don't give a shit and would never look this up. However, the amount of times where the team has been asked to look up a user and find if they've breached any company network usage policy in order to have cause for termination is more common than you think. Story 3. Am I the a-hole for using my neighbor's bath? I live in an apartment block and live across from my neighbor. Let's call him Jerry. Jerry is a 40-year-old man who lives alone and works 9 to 5 Monday to Friday. He gave me a key a few years back when he went on a holiday. I still have the key. 6 months ago, my shower broke before a big work presentation. I sent him a text asking if I could use his bath, but he never got back to me. I assumed it was okay. It turned out he had changed his number. Anyway, I had the bath and loved it. I don't have a bath in my flat, and it was some experience. I brought my own shower gel, shampoo, and rubber duck, so I didn't use anything he paid for. Since then, I've just been using his bath when he's not around. It is the best part of the week, midday on Tuesday and Friday when I head in. Then everything went wrong. Jerry died. I didn't know this, and I went in for my Tuesday bath, was sitting there relaxed when his brother came in and was shocked to me sitting naked on his toilet post-shower. It was the worst moment he could have arrived. He was so mad. I was humiliated beyond belief. I am still so embarrassed and I feel so ashamed of my body and how I appeared to this man. It turned into a big thing. Apparently, I'm a dick for using Jerry's bath. I don't think so, because I always brought my own stuff and Jerry gave me the key to begin with. I am heartbroken at the loss of my neighbor and the lovely memories he gave me. Am I actually the a-hole? Because I don't think so. Now for some comments. My boiler broke one autumn and it took 6 months for my lazy landlord to finally fix it. I was without hot water for the entire winter. Rather than break into my neighbors' homes and use their bathtubs without their knowledge whilst they were out, I perfected the ancient art of boiling water and putting it into a bucket for a sponge bath, then using the shower head to wash my hair in cold water every few days. Let me get this straight. You didn't have permission to be in your neighbor's apartment and you should have given the keys back after he came back from his holidays a few years ago. Even though you had a key, you've basically been breaking into his apartment. Shoe on the other foot. How would you feel if you just found out someone has been doing this to you for years? Such an invasion of privacy, OP. You're the a-hole. You're a massive a-hole. You're the a-hole. Okay, I assume that this is a joke because this story plays out like a Seinfeld episode where you are George Costanza. There are so many problems here, my friend. You must know this. You can't actually think that sneaking into someone's home and taking a bath without their knowledge or consent is okay. And not once but twice a week for 6 months. That is 52 baths. Think of the water bill. And dear God, if you don't know that they've died, you aren't friends. Write that brother a big apology note and leave some cash for good measure, you goblin.